to make them disappear. But secrets from Hillary Clinton's private server still coming back to haunt her.
Despite what the FBI director, the former FBI director, said, it's not legal, and they were mishandling classified information. And I tell you, if you are operating a system that is regularly receiving and sending classified information in an unsecure way, you're subject to prosecution, and you would have been if you weren't Hillary Clinton or her aide-de-camp. Losing an election ought not to be a get-out-of-jail-free card.
That watchdog group, Judicial Watch, demanding the Department of Justice investigate Hillary Clinton as new email reveal special favors for Clinton donors while classified information was mishandled. So, will Hillary Clinton ever be held accountable? Joining us right now here in the big studio is Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, good morning.
Good morning. I'm laughing because I wish I knew the answer to that question. Will Hillary ever be held accountable?
When you look at these emails that Judicial Watch has gotten their hands on, it looked like it was a favor factory.
I mean, the clip we just ran is from Tom Fitton, who runs Judicial Watch, who probably more than any other person on the planet is responsible for discovering the truth in all of this. He, through suing the State Department, has gotten his hands on more documents than the Congress has by subpoenaing the State Department. There is an institutional reluctance on the part of the State Department to cough up documents even when the statutes require it. And Tom Fitton was complaining about the Rex Tillerson Justice Department as much as he was the, State Department as much as he was the John Kerry State Department.
All right, so here's some of the possible damning information and dialogue that was found in this email. This is from a person with the last name Craighead.
Kelly Craighead.
It could mean a lot to me if you could help or advise on a personal situation for a dear friend. Abedin says, we'd love, and then the word is redacted, looking into this as soon as possible.
Okay, so this is a pattern that we knew about, but what we discovered with these documents being released yesterday is more examples of it. And the example is, the pattern is this. You gave money to the Clinton Foundation, you're going to get favors from the State Department. That obviously is against the law, and it was never even pursued aggressively by the FBI. Look, I believe that Jim Comey was wrong when a year ago he announced she's not going to be indicted because no reasonable prosecutor would take the case. That's not a decision for him to make and not an announcement for him to make. And it's the stated reason for which President Trump fired him. The statute of limitations is not yet run. There is nothing to prevent the Jeff Sessions Department of Justice from looking at all this and deciding what to present to a grand jury and seeing if the grand jury wants to indict her for Mrs. Clinton for espionage, the failure to safeguard state secrets.
So just because James Comey came out famously and said, there's nothing there, we're not going to prosecute, and nobody would, Jeff Sessions can say, hey, guys, look into it, if he chose to.
Precisely. The statute of limitations is not yet run, and as we know from the story we're covering at this moment, more evidence keeps coming forward.
How rare would it be to look back at a candidate and prosecute? Because we know when the president won, he said, enough, I'm looking ahead. But he Brian, seems to have changed his mind.
That is a great question. It would be unheard of. And Lindsey Graham, a friend of Fox and of the show, said, we're not a banana republic, and we don't use the machinery of the government to go after our political opponents.
We've got this new evidence.
Correct. We also don't let people skate just because of what their last name is or what positions they held in the government.
Or that she lost.
Correct.
But what if she runs again? People go, well, what did you do last time? Well, we don't worry about that.
This is a decision that can only be made by the president himself.
All right.
Where he stands on this, I don't know, because he's articulated both sides of it. But the evidence is there, the law is there, and justice should be done.
And the unmasking thing is hovering just beneath. Ben Rhodes is the latest name to pop up.
The Ben Rhodes thing is a potential time bomb. If he requested unmasking in order to embarrass or humiliate President-elect Trump.
That is a report out by Circuit today.
Yes.
All right. Judge Napolitano, thank you very much for joining us live today.
Pleasure, guys.
So it's good seeing you, Judge.